Hi, everybody. Welcome back to The Rising. This week, we continue our conversation on non-attachment. It's one thing to live it out. Now, I'm going to give you some practical tools on how to apply it in your everyday life. Enjoy. So in the previous episode, we discussed the art of non-attachment and what it is. And again, it's not that you are not caring about your life. It's that you're releasing your firm grip on how you think it should go. And so today we're going to explore some practical tools that you can apply in your everyday life. For example, if you're on the road and someone cuts you off, what do you do? Or you just entered a new phase of your life. Maybe it's a new relationship. Maybe you're at a new school. Maybe you're at a new job and you have a lot of worry and a lot of expectations on how you think it should go. So the first thing we're going to do is basically come into our bodies and have some awareness. So the first thing you're going to do is to become aware of what's coming in for you. And remember, what we don't notice, oftentimes ends up debilitating us because we start moving through life kind of reacting to whatever it throws our way. We're not living with intention. So the first step is awareness. And where does clinging show up for you? And you have to look at that. And is it in a relationship? Is it in your job? And, see where that's showing up for you. Are there more areas of your life where you're more flexible? You're not that attached. Can you practice that in other areas where you are firmly attached to one thing? So awareness is key, and you need to ask yourself, where do I feel this tightness in my life, this inflexibility, and go there. Awareness is 100% the first thing you want to do. The second thing is you want to reframe your language. So words matter, you guys. What we tell ourselves, it really is powerful. And we can't go into a situation or season of life saying, this must work out a certain way or else I will not be happy. That is, really intense language, and it leaves no room for failure. So that's a heavy burden to carry when you're saying, I need this to work out and I need it to work out this way, and I'm not open to any other possibility. You really close yourself off from life showing you other possibilities or roadblocks in the journey that will access your inner strength. So you have to be open. So one thing I suggest is reframing your language. First, awareness. Second, reframing your language. So you want to say, I'm open to how this unfolds. Do you see what that does? It releases expectation. And you might end up being surprised. Things may end up working out even better than you imagine because you're saying to yourself, I'm open to how this unfolds. So this softens your nervous system. You start to feel more relaxed. And I even feel much more relaxing those words. Listen, my kids just started new schools. I have a freshman in high school and I have another son who just started a new school. Me just saying these words is bringing me peace. I'm open to how this will unfold. I don't know if it's going to work out. I hope it does. But can I learn something on this journey? Absolutely. So reframing your language is key. 3, I can't stress enough. You need to breathe. You need to ground yourself. And you need to look for ways to do this in nature. If you follow me, and you've been following me for years, you know that I am big on this in connecting to nature, grounding our feet to the earth, getting outside, taking a walk, breathing in fresh air, taking in the natural elements. This brings an immense amount of calmness to your nervous system, your mind, your overall health. So you need to take these pauses at some point in your busy schedule. And you need to tell yourself, I can release what I can't control. We can't control everything. In fact, we don't have much control of our lives. And we need to be okay with this. And oftentimes just being out in nature helps us to understand that the natural rhythm of life is always at play here and things are always working themselves out. So we need to tell ourselves, I can release what I cannot control. So again, 3 is breathing, grounding, getting present in this moment, and just exhaling. 4, gratitude, huge. Again, something I preach heavily. Every day when you wake up and your eyes open, you sit up, your feet hit the ground, you need to be thankful for another day, for the breath you just took, for the pillow you just slept on. All those things are so basic, but so taken for granted by many of us. The fact that we get to, do this over again and try again and rise to our higher selves, and we're given that opportunity, that is a gift. So we need to fully be grateful every time we wake up and give thanks for that moment and the opportunity to shift our perspective. And when we do this, I believe that more good things come in. If you can wake up in a state of gratitude, this is how your day is going to flow. I believe it's going to flow much more easily, and you'll be surprised at the moments that come to you. And you're going to be saying thank you for what happens throughout your day. So gratitude is huge. That's number 4. The final one is boundaries. So practicing non-attachment sometimes looks like stepping back and trying your best to not control other people around us. And you have to protect your energy. You can't control other people. You can only control your emotions. And we can't be here to help everybody on their journey because everybody's on their own and they need to figure it out for themselves. We can do our best to help others, be there for them, but we can't get heavily invested in their life. So it really is about protecting your energy because you need your energy on your journey. You need your energy in fulfilling your goals and definitely working on becoming whole. And this is what you need to go back to every day. And you need to go back to yourself, your center, and find things that fill you up and keep you going on this life journey. So I invite you to basically come up with the mantra. And if you can't come up with one, I'm going to give you one. And it is, I release what I cannot control. I stay present with what is. So let's say it again. I release what I cannot control. I stay present with what is. So I invite you, repeat this over and see how you feel. And notice today the challenge, right? Today, I want you to notice one small thing that you're clinging to. Maybe it's being first in line. Maybe it's needing your text answered right away. What if you can practice just letting it go? Let it go. And again, we'll talk about the beauty that you can live in if you can really adopt this practice of non-attachment. And again, it not just frees us from our firm hold on how things should be, it just allows space for more good things to come in that maybe we weren't expecting. And life could surprise us in a very good way. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope these tools help you on your journey, and we will continue our conversation next week.